In this example, we're looking at the salaries of professional nurses who are employed by private hospitals against those who are employed by government-owned hospitals. And they're trying to determine, do the nurses in the private hospitals earn a higher wage than those ones employed by the government-owned? We have all the information we need. It's all broken down in our chart over here, with our private nurses earning $26,800 on average, but our government nurses only earning $25,900. Sample size of 15, sample size of 18. Standard deviations are both from the samples, so we know this is going to end up being a t-test. Small samples and an unknown population standard deviation. We set up our hypotheses. Well, the first one, we're going to assume that there is no difference between the two, that the nurses make essentially the same amount of money. In the second one, we're looking to determine, do the private nurses make more? Do they earn a higher wage? That would be a greater than. So mu1 is greater than mu2, which means this is going to be a one-sided test. Since it's greater than, our rejection region is going to be on the far right-hand side. Look at your two n values, 15 and 18. Take the smaller of the two, subtract 1, so my degrees of freedom in this case is going to be 14. So when I go to look that up, it's going to give me a critical value of 2.62. I find my test statistic. I find the difference between the two salaries, the two average salaries. All that divided by the standard error, which in this case is 600 squared over 15 plus 450 squared over 18, and that's going to give me a very large test statistic of positive 4.79, so very far above the mean of 0. So in this case there is a significant difference because this falls in the rejection region, which means we are going to reject the null hypothesis. So we're rejecting this idea, and this data does give us evidence. It does support the idea that the private hospitals pay their nurses more than the government hospitals. So a nurse that works for a private hospital, on average, earns more than a nurse employed by a government-owned hospital, according to the study that we have.